Well, hello there. Mark Risen-Hopkins here, and I am going to talk a little bit today about dollar cost averaging. It's a financial concept that's been around for a long time, but it can really help you make more out of your dollar, out of your investment dollar. And to help explain that today is my friend, David Salmon, who is a financial wizard over at Primerica. And he is going to help us kind of understand dollar cost averaging, kind of get it from more of a lay perspective. You're really good at explaining this, so I wanted to bring you in to show everybody exactly what you showed me the time that you explained it to me.
Excellent. Okay. Well, coming from my crypto wizard, I appreciate that, Mark.
Anytime.
I'm a crypto idiot, but learning. So yeah. So dollar cost averaging is a concept that we definitely teach to all of our clients, and it's something that we feel like is very important. Mm-hmm. I have a very simple story that I use to help illustrate this to people. We call it the cow story, and obviously we're in Texas, and everything's bigger in Texas, better in Texas, and we have a lot of cattle. In order to explain that, I use this story called the cow story. So what I'll explain is if we were going to invest, Mark and I, we're going to go into business together, January, February, March, April, May. So we use 5 months as example. We're going to go into business together. We'll invest $100 a month in cattle. Mm-hmm. And obviously, in the first month, the price of cows is $100. So we invest our $100, and we now own one head of cattle, and we're very excited about that because we now get to buy our 10-gallon hat, our big Texas rancher's belt buckle, all of the above. So, but in the next month, if you remember, mad cow's disease over there in France, they'll claim it was England. It never was. It was always in France. So the price of our cattle drops to $50 a head, and you can imagine how that might be a strain on our relationship. I'll let people know. And then, in March, Oprah Winfrey goes on television and says that boycott beef and it's the worst thing in the world and all of those. So obviously we're no longer speaking because now our cattle are only worth $10 each. Mm-hmm. So it turns out everything's okay. The U.S. herds, especially the Texas herds, are going to be just fine. So our price comes back up to 50, and we agree, Mark and I, that if the price will come back up to 100, we're going to sell out of our position and cut our losses and never invest in cattle again. And that's what happens. So the price comes back up to $100 a head. So here's what happened during that period of time. We probably, it would seem like we lost our shirts during that period of time. But actually, here's what happened. We being unsophisticated investors, we set an automatic investment for $100 a month. So our initial total investment over those 5 months was at $500. Well, today, if you look at what happened in the first month at $100 a cow, we invested $100. We bought one cow. Well, I used to say cow, but in Texas, a cow is a female, and I guess we're not talking about females here, so I was correct. So one head of cattle is correct in Texas. Okay. So in the second month, though, we're still buying. We buy 2. In the worst month, we buy 10. We buy 2 more, we buy 1 more. So we are now the proud owners, Mark and I, of 16 head of cattle. So the price of our cows today is that $100. Right. So we're now the proud owners of $1,600 worth of beef. Our investment was this $500. So minus our $500 investment, we made a net profit of $1,100 during the worst period that the cattle industry has ever seen. So this is what we call dollar cost averaging. And it will work every single time, provided 2 things exist. The first thing is the market must fluctuate. So we must have market fluctuation. The second thing is discipline. The investor must maintain the discipline to continue investing over time no matter what happens. Mm-hmm. So no matter what, second month, third month, no matter what the guys at the water cooler are saying, no matter what, people at work had said, I lost all my money, I had to get out of that. No matter what, you just keep investing over time and things will work out well. And let me explain why. We all know that you're supposed to buy what? Low, and sell what?
Sell high.
You're supposed to sell high, right? But in investing, the opposite happens. And it's called pride and shame. When CNN says everything is terrible, people have shame. So what do? They sell low.
Right.
And then when CNN or the guys at the water cooler say everything's incredible, they have pride. So then they buy. So people do the opposite. So, and what's very interesting is the fact that you will make money dollar cost averaging even if the price never comes past the initial price that you bought in at. If you see here, we started at 100, we finished at 100, we only went down and then came back up, but we still made that $1,100 because of that fluctuation.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Okay, good.
So the question is, and this comes up a lot, when because this question comes to me a lot. If I've got $5,000 that I have set aside to invest in a thing, right? They always say don't invest more than you have to lose. Well, I can lose $5,000. Does it make more sense for me in January to put $5,000 into this investment? Or does it make more sense for me to take that $5,000 and invest it in like 12 equal installments over the course of the year or some number? What's the wiser course of action given what we know we just talked about with dollar cost averaging?
Okay. So I think what we're talking about then is lump sum versus a dollar cost averaging or versus over time.
Right.
About it. So let me do. Let's say let me make it easy for myself. Let's say we got a $600 lump sum investment that we could use let's invest dollar cost average. Let's say $100 a month over 6 months. Okay.
Okay.
So using the same example, if we have a 6-month period of time, and let's say we start with a unit price of $100, the unit price of $100. So in a lump sum example, or you could equally parallel that to a flat market example, which is equivalent to the lump sum investment. So 6 months of $100 in a flat market. We invest our $600 in month one. But let's look at the dollar cost averaging example. And let's say we start at $100 and we invest. So we're going to invest $100 a month. And let's say the second month the price goes up to $150 and then down to 50, back up to 150, down to 50, and then we finish off at 100. So if we have the same average price.
Right.
You see that? So in the example where we invest our lump sum $600 in the first month or again in a flat market, if it's $100 per unit and we invested $600, how many units do we end up with?
6.
6 units.
Right.
Okay, exactly. 6 units. So in a fluctuating market, now in a fluctuating market, in the first month we purchased 1 unit. In this up market, we only purchased 2/3 of a unit. The market went down. We purchased how many units this month?
Be 2.
2 units, 2/3 of a unit, 2 units, and then in the last month we purchased another unit.
Right.
So tally those up. We're looking at 7 and 1/3 units over time. So now the question is the market going to fluctuate?
Obviously, anything that is a market is going to fluctuate.
Okay, it's kind of like death and taxes. The market will fluctuate. Yeah. So if we believe the market will fluctuate, we're going to be better off because obviously we've got $733 here versus $600 at the end of the time period here. So if you believe the market will fluctuate, then dollar cost averaging is definitely the way to go.
Okay, well I think that explains it as simply as it can be done.
Good.
So.
Okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time.
For sure. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So I hope that was helpful to you. I know that's something that I've used for my investment strategy for quite a long time. It's been beneficial to me, and I'm happy to be able to share it with you. If you want to learn more about Dr. Bitcoin, you can always visit my personal blog, rizzn.com, or subscribe to this channel and find more videos just like this. If you want to learn more about Primerica and David Salmon, you can go to primerica.com/David Salmon.